boy Faley McWhaley today. I'm here with my reaction video to Community. This one is Season 6, Episode 4. How's it going, everybody? Begin.
Lying?
Yeah, but you like karate.
Right. Yeah, but
He's trying to be an actor.
You like karate, though.
So?
He's trying to be a screenwriter or something.
Lying?
Make it
Chang,
into a sequel.
the audition's at discipline and confidence.
Discipline. Confidence. Okay? From the top.
Always scared, Daniel-san. Miyagi hates fighting.
Lying.
You got a problem with that?
Unclear.
They took my snake.
Isn't everyone you'd be suing dead?
That's not cool, man.
It's a bad morning. No Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we really need Wi-Fi.
Very
okay,
true.
Let's not get... Wi-Fi!
Okay, enough.
Smaller holes, more bites. Well, what are we up to now, Mega?
Tara.
Jesus.
Bastards, they finally did it.
Frankie, hire Elroy. I'm dying.
Of?
Not really, but imagine how bad you feel.
For a second, I'm like, we're not gonna pull a Pierce with the Dean. That would actually hurt my heart. Jim Rash is too sacred. But if he did die, they can make the joke of the soundtrack going, Dean, Dean, Dean.
And love what you're doing with it.
Oh, really?
Why?
Oh, I get it.
Oh, he's. Oh,
This is about the uproar over you guys. Can't...
I thought it was gonna be like a
This is
diversity
about
hire.
adding a new face to the board. Gay Dean, Gay Dean, Gay Dean, Gay Dean.
Let's see how this goes.
Lead to the router. We'll have to move it.
If you move him, the mother won't come back.
Those birds aren't the new IT lady. I am.
What are you, a demon? Did Clive Barker write you?
Anyone who finds that nest will...
Hobbit's coming with the spices.
I've got 1 year to make it all work.
And he's gonna take his spotlight. Although Chang did kill it that one time on stage.
When you gonna fix it?
After.
After what?
After.
We got the part!
Wee.
Alright.
You're right.
Didn't you come out for like forgetting a role of a Vietnamese woman in a cartoon show
And?
recently?
I got a part in a play, and we were sort of talking about that, so read the room, Pelton.
Are you gonna take the job?
And gayness is a rabbit out of a hat. I'm one of those never-ending handkerchiefs.
The sad truth, Craig?
No.
When a person becomes symbolic, they gain symbolic.
Get ready, America. Dean Pelton is coming out as approximately 2/7 of what he is. Don't leave me hanging. There we go.
I'm down for a Dean-centric episode.
Stop making me want to quit the theater and kill myself. Go. After what happened, great. This is good. Got it. I
Yeet.
got distracted. You in the eye with it. You waste of a soul-shaped hope forgotten by God.
And do you think you were selected to join the board because of your sexual preferences?
Whoa. I would just like to say that we are very proud.
Got him.
Mr. Pelton on the board.
I want to say thanks for doing this. I never knew. I mean, people talk, but I wasn't sure.
I'm begging you. Your lifestyle is alternative.
This is low-key fucked.
I'm not gonna hit you. From the top! Danny does a bit with the floor Sanders. Miyagi is immune.
You're right. I should threaten to quit. Or just quit. Well, if I threaten to quit, maybe that will be enough for him to stop abusing Chang.
Albatrosses have a 270-day fledging period.
He's having a hard time without Troy. My goodness.
Deeper into the earth to get away from you. You make
That's
me embarrassed
fucked.
to have thumbs. Noriyuki Morita was nominated for an Academy Award for his performance. Ralph Macchio showed up.
I'm talented too, right?
What? No, really? Really? Oh my God! From now on, she's dead to us.
Hey, Gay Dean, we got a problem.
Cool, man. Don't bring us into your web of lies.
Well, what I really am. I belong to one of the most marginalized and least openly honest groups in America. If not, I understand. Thank you. Just faster if I get to my office this way. We don't need pictures of this.
Can't believe that. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Abed. I lost myself in a role. It won't happen again. Karate Kid adaptation, Karate Kid adaptation, Karate Kid adaptation, Karate Kid adaptation, Karate Kid adaptation.
Left him on red. Actually, he didn't even send the text message.
Empty-headed homunculi. But the right one, in the right role.
Who took Annie's part?
Pleased to be with Annie Kim?
Oh yeah, that is Annie Kim.
Ow!
Well, that's a throwback.
Okay.
Complication at birth. Son.
Get up, Daniel.
Get out. I lost a button.
Maybe we all lost a button.
Hey, we are gathered here today to celebrate the release of this bird into these skies. That its now fully formed wings may find purchase upon the four winds. With the fluttering of these wings, we symbolically join your flight into the natural world. Wings, everyone.
Wings up. Frankie. Oh God. No. And that was my reaction video to Community. This one was season 6, episode 4. And one of the first things that I did notice after finishing this episode was it felt, first of all, it felt longer, but it didn't at the same time. It just felt like these storylines had a little bit more fleshed out moments to them. That's because I didn't mention it, but this is actually a 30-minute runtime for this episode for Community. Obviously, the show usually is between the ranges of like 20 to 22 minutes, 24 usually at the longer end. So you can definitely feel a little bit more room for the jokes to have some space, some more pauses, some extended scenes that I feel like we wouldn't have got that made some of the storylines come a little bit more, I guess, full circle. For example, like the Karate Kid acting storyline with Chang this episode, we got to see that fully from beginning to end. Obviously seeing the facial reactions from the team there made especially a lot of those moments fit almost, getting to see the final outcome of that. But I think as a whole, this definitely felt like an earlier-esque season of the show, specifically with the way that they handled I think the characters, their developments, keeping the storylines a little bit more grounded and making them actually feel like actual people. So I gotta give them hats to that. I thought Chang here specifically was, they could have easily gone evil Chang or a little bit more wacky, but they kept it pretty grounded and went with the storyline of like an abusive director in theater, and him going railing on him and just abusing him throughout that whole entire process. So I thought that was an interesting commentary on that within the show, like very reminiscent of Simmons in Whiplash, the relationship between him and what's his fucking name? What's the kid's name? What's that guy's name? My memory is just gone to shit. What's the dude's name? I know his name. Miles Teller. Similar to that dynamic, it wasn't even like funny for a good portion of it. I genuinely felt really bad, and sure, maybe this episode in totality might have not been the most funny at moments, but I thought it was pretty well written. There were some great lines throughout it. There was one or two moments that I actually thought were really funny throughout this, but in terms of just, I think I enjoyed it a lot more just like a character piece for some of our characters. Another one was specifically the Dean. I didn't think we would really get a character piece episode with him, especially with regards to sexuality. From that perspective, I actually really did enjoy how they went about, I guess, presenting his sexuality and obviously diving into the idea of politicizing it. On one hand, I feel like they could have slipped up with addressing his sexuality maybe and made it like super on the nose, but I like the nuance that they brought to it and the idea of presenting queer identity, but him wanting to be honest with himself, but then also showing the other aspects to it, like the representation of seeing so many at the same time. They're obviously politicizing it and making it like for optics, having a token a gay man. And I actually appreciated how they sort of presented that. His wonderful speech at the end as well about it being about politics and them saying that they only scratched 2/7 of it. So I think for the most part the way that they handled that was actually really well done. And with regards to the Dean's sexuality, like I definitely didn't think he was straight. So the way that they sort of went about it this episode, it's like, yeah, like he doesn't have to label himself, whether he's non-binary, if he's pansexual, or a group of all things. I appreciate how they presented the queer identity in the show and with regards to the Dean's character, and sort of posing the idea to, I guess, the queer identity is multiple facets to it and it isn't just a one sort of identity. So I can really appreciate how they went about that this episode. And yeah, the stuff with the bird's nest plots, I didn't find them to be all too funny, and I think that was a common theme this episode. I feel like maybe the laughs weren't really there, but I don't think that was necessarily the intent. If there were some funny moments, for example, throughout that sort of popped up, like in terms of the facial reactions, I thought the moment between Jeff and the Dean sort of being like surprised that they had no idea that about Frankie's sexuality, which they hinted at this episode. I thought that was a funny moment for the episode. The reactions to the play, but there's again serious and more grounded elements that were portrayed here, and I thought they did a good job at handling those. Yeah, and Abed too, he had a central focus here, I guess, with the bird's nest, focusing obviously on his family relationship with his mother. Here's a small thing that I did notice, not just about this episode, but season 6 as a whole, is the attentiveness to minor details throughout the entire show. I feel like they sort of paid attention to little moments, even if they were just one lines, and they bring them back to some capacity, for example, or side characters. We even had Andy Kim pop back up here, which is funny. I didn't notice, I couldn't tell from the side profile, but when they actually mentioned it, I'm like, oh wow, that's a cool little, I guess throwback. We haven't seen her since that one episode from the earlier on. So yeah, this definitely felt more of like an OG, I guess, episode of the series. That's my thoughts on this episode of Community, guys. But what do you think about this one, y'all? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. I was actually gonna do the double bubble for this one, but I did have a little bit more thoughts on this one, and for some reason I got a little bit tired. So I'll get episode 5 up very soon, and then we'll probably go for a double bubble later in this week, because we're almost done season 6, guys. Oh my gosh. But yeah, with that being said, y'all, I'm gonna get up this episode right away, same with Stargate, and I'll catch you guys for the videos for the rest of the week. So with that being said, guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. But with that being said, I'll catch y'all in the next one.